I think we can all agree spotty, slow internet connections can push you over the edge. For many people in Massachusetts, that's just how it is, because the big players still haven't gotten around to servicing their areas. That's why, as Christina Quinn shows us, one town is taking things into its own hands.
Nestled in the Pioneer Valley along Interstate 91 and Route 2, the town of Greenfield boasts of lush rolling hills and rivers, a rich mill history, and a bustling local economy. But strong internet connection? Not so much. And Mayor Bill Martin had a problem with that.
Some people were using dial-up, some didn't have it at all.
But he couldn't get any help from the state to improve it. The problem was the numbers. Although 40% of Greenfield residents aren't online, often because of the quality of the service, that isn't enough to meet the state's threshold for what they call an underserved community. With no state aid on the horizon, the mayor took matters into his own hands.
The internet is a infrastructure issue. It falls in parallel to water, sewer, power, natural gas lines that we have throughout the city. We should control it.
And under state law, cities and towns can own their public utility companies, like gas and electric. That includes internet, too. So Martin hired a company to figure out how the city could become its own independent internet service provider without using taxpayers' dollars. They named it Greenlight. It took a $5 million bond and votes from the city council and voters for Greenlight to get the green light. A pilot program succeeded, and come July 1st, the whole city will start to be wired, a first-of-its-kind venture in the state with the potential for significant savings.
Right now we have Comcast, super overpriced. It just seems like it's a great idea for the community to try to provide their own.
The market cost from Greenfield's largest provider, Comcast, starts at $50, going upwards of $80 a month. That's a stark contrast to Greenlight's plans, which will range from $10 to $30 a month for residents.
I'm definitely going to look at it. It's promising, and I'd rather be part of that in the town than have to pay a big corporation.
Residents will now have a choice of providers. In a statement, Comcast said Greenfield's plan to enter the broadband market demonstrates that the drive for dynamic, innovative competition exists. It's a good thing Comcast welcomes the competition because it sounds like they've met their match in the town of Greenfield.
Christina Quinn joins me now. Hey, Christina. I want to make sure I got this right. So the majority of people in Greenfield do have service, but it's spotty, it's inadequate. So the goal of this program is to fill those holes. Is that right?
Yes.
So let's go to the extreme. Are there any cities and towns left in Massachusetts that have no service access at all? The answer is yes.
Yes. 44 communities in Massachusetts.
Have none?
Have no internet access.
So what do they do? What do they do if
they
they
go to the
need?
library? Maybe you can hang out at the police station to have their Wi-Fi. Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
But wait a second, I may have gotten this wrong. My recollection was that there was some state law passed a few years ago that was going to extend broadband service to all 351 cities and towns.
Yes.
Am I wrong? Or
No, you're absolutely right. So in 2014, the Mass Broadband Institute, which is part of the Mass Tech Collaborative, they completed building out a 1,200-mile fiber optic cable network.
So why are there 44 communities with no access?
Well, consider it sort of the spine or the backbone of this. So, that program helped, or that network, was able to provide internet to the public institutions, libraries, police departments, that kind of thing. And so moving forward, they're going to expand that network. So sort of think of it as like a cobweb or a web of just, branching out of.
So theoretically, they'll address the zero, the non-existent zero. This may be so obvious, but I think it's worth stating. Other than fun, and fun is in the eye of the beholder, obviously, depending on what you do on the internet. Why does this matter? Other than equity, it's totally inequitable. Why does this matter to people to have limited or inadequate or no service at all?
Well, we need the internet for so many reasons, but even things like applying for a job. Most jobs you need to go online. It affects real estate. Are you going to buy a place in a town that has no internet access?
That's actually a very good point.
So, these are major concerns that are affecting all these communities. Yeah.
Christina, it's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Thanks so much,
Thanks.
Christina Quinn.